Hi everyone, it's Drew again, and today we're here to talk about the different platforms. So after you pick the product you need, you may go to that platform dropdown and say, oh man, there's a lot of number here. I don't know what an NNA1 or an N34 is. So that's what this video is about. We're going to clear up that confusion. First off, let's talk about the things that are common between all the hardware platforms from RTA. First, all of these platforms are manufactured here in the US of A. They're actually either manufactured in California or here in the wonderful state of Wisconsin. Second, everything is an anodized aluminum case. So these are absolutely great heat sinks. And then finally, assuming you're using a DIN rail mount, the DIN rail hardware across all platforms is common. So there's a spring-loaded clip on the bottom where you engage it, tip it back, drop it onto your DIN rail. Everything is the same in that regard. After that, though, this is where we get into all the decisions. And I'd like to start with, I think, our two workhorses. So when in doubt, look for the NNA1. That's this platform here. So if this is an option, well, this is a very small package that gives you a nice platform because it has pluggable power, which I should say is actually common between everything. It is UL and CE approved along with the rest of our hardware. And then finally, you've got all of your LEDs and all of your connectors on one face. So if you're going into a panel, we're not going to take up much space and you're going to be able to see all of your connections and then troubleshoot any of the LED behavior by just looking into the panel. So that's a pretty nice thing. There's nothing on the bottom. There's nothing to really have to do some hand aerobics to get in after. So that's a great platform. And what this one does is you're going to have one Ethernet port and then either a 232 or a 485 port. And if you go with the NNA4 version, which looks a lot like the NNA1, what this does, the only difference is that it's got two 485 ports. So you've got two 485s running into here as opposed to a 485 or a 232. Next, I want to move on to the N34 platform. This is really our workhorse. So this is the most versatile piece of hardware we have in the offering. And this one also has Class 1 Div 2 on top of the standard UL. So if you're in a hazardous location, go with the N34 platform or the the N2E platform. And what this guy's got, it has more options here. So this is going to have CAN, so it's great for DeviceNet. It's going to support RS422, it's going to support RS232, and then up to 2 RS485. Now that all comes between two connectors. One is a DB9, and then one is going to be the 5-pin screw terminal. Internal jumpers need to be set to get to different variations, but if you don't know what you're getting into and think you're going to need the flexibility, this is a great catch-all because it is our most versatile piece of hardware. Let's move on then to our N2E platform. And what's the coolest thing here? Two Ethernet ports, right? So this is going to support a linear Ethernet topology. You don't need switches. You can daisy between devices. And then it also lets you segregate the two Ethernet networks. So if you're bridging from a closed or secure factory and you want to access this for setup, configuration, or monitoring over, let's say, your office network, or even if you want to bridge out to a building automation protocol that's on a separate network, none of the Ethernet traffic will travel between these ports if they're set to independent mode. So that allows you to segregate the traffic either for security or just traffic reasons. So that's a very cool feature. And then this is also going to support either RS232, 485, or 422 all in the same box. The N2EW, that's going to add 802.11 Wi-Fi with all the same features. And then finally, the last platform we want to talk about is the N700. And really, the only reason you use the N700 is if you had a need for two RS232 ports over this DB9 style. So if the DB9 style connection is perfect because you've got a lot of those old DB9 style connectors there from printers, scanners, barcode readers, things like that, this is a perfect platform for you. So I hope that helped you pick the platform you needed today. And as always, if you have any issues with any of that or any questions, do not hesitate to give us a call.